What's poppin'? It's your girl, Black Diamond Misfit, and this is my story, and I'm the only one that could tell it. I want to talk to you guys about my daughter. I got the toxicology report today, and I'm going to read it to you later in another video because I just called, and they were reading off what my daughter had died from. Okay, so when I get that in my hand, the paperwork in my hand, then I will read it to you and let you know. But it wasn't good, and I just want to let you guys know that as a parent, yeah, you want to blame somebody for something that happened to your kid. It's only natural. But what I will say is this. When my daughter, okay, I had seen some signs of my daughter, not struggling with anything, but was struggling with, maybe drinking, just chilling just a little bit too hard. It was, drinking. And, I didn't like what I was looking at. I had no idea about any drugs or anything like that, pills or whatever. So I would tell her, I was like, Nana, you're going to have to straighten up because, you got Chula. And this is before my second granddaughter from my daughter was born. This was a few years back. And I was saying, you're going to have to straighten up. You know what I'm saying? I think you're partying just a little bit too hard. And she had a habit of not answering the phone. She had a habit of not answering the phone or my texts, to where I used to have to call for a welfare check for the police to come there and check on her all the time. And she was fine. She just didn't want to answer the phone. My daughter's baby father from Chula's father, he would even do a welfare check on her because, she wouldn't answer the phone. And he's a good father. And when he didn't hear from his daughter, my granddaughter, of course, he's gonna check up on her. So when she didn't answer the phone or answer the door, he would do a welfare check too. So this wasn't new to us for her not answering the door or the phone. Now, mind you, her best friend, I said several times to her, I was like, look, she's not listening to me. Why don't you talk to her? She loves you. Why don't you talk to her and tell her, that, to straighten up because, it's not a good look and, she needs to straighten her act up. So she said to me, oh, she's not going to listen to me. She's not, what? If you see your friend messing up, you're going to talk to them and let them know, listen, you're messing up. You got little mama over here, you got a child or whatever. You're going to talk to them. You're not just going to sit there and just, if you're a real true friend, you're not going to just sit there and see your friend go down the drain. Well, this is why I say to everyone, and I don't care at this point right now. If you're a true friend and if you're loyal and you see somebody going down the drain, you want to help them. And I have my daughter's phone. The police gave me her phones because it was supposed to, I was supposed to open up the phone for the police because they didn't know how to do it, whatever. And I didn't even know the passcode. But I found the passcode and I opened up both the phones. So my daughter did ask her best friend, was she an addict? She even called her. No answer. No answer to the phone, and she didn't answer in the text or anything. Some people will say, well, maybe she talked to her on the phone and told her she was an addict. Well, if that was the case, it's hearsay. I could say, well, if that's the case, I know how much she cared about her, then why was I still, it's up to her to take the pills, or it's up to her to take the drugs. It's up to her that she did it. It was nobody else's fault. I'm not saying that. Yes, it was my daughter's fault that she did what she did. Okay? That she took whatever that she took. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that even if her best friend didn't want to say nothing to her, she could have told me, her mother. I've been told this person, to try to help her. You know what I mean? But once she knew, well, here's the thing. They both were doing it. Okay? They both were popping pills, Xans. They both were popping those perks. Yes, I see it in the text. They both were doing it. So everybody would probably say, oh, well, that's the reason why she didn't say anything. I got that part. But I got that part. My thing is that you could have helped her. Even if you didn't want to say anything, you could have. So I'm not going to put all that on her. But what I will put it on is that the person who left my daughter for dead, she was chilling with him. They were doing all sorts of things, and with each other, passing whatever drugs or whatever that they were doing, and she died of an overdose in front of him. And he left my granddaughter there to die as well. And how do I know that he left her there? Because I had just left my daughter. My husband and I just left my daughter. We just went to Taco Bell. She was fine. And I looked at him, and I was like, and I grabbed him. I was like, oh, he got to go. I'm not going to leave here. She said, no, Ma, he's good. He's fine. Okay, I got that. But here's what else that I got. His message to her, going back and forth, that, yeah, he got the drugs, whatever like that, and he's on his way now. So, yes, he was the one that gave it to her, because there was no way that she would get, well, she was getting it from her, the best friend, another girl, and the person who she wound up being with that day, well, that evening. And it's in a text message that, yes, that's where she got that drugs from. And, yes, she overdosed in front of him because the police talked to him. And he said that she was snoring when he left. She wasn't snoring. She was dying of an overdose, and he left. That's what happened. And my granddaughter was there. He left her. He didn't call the police. He didn't call the ambulance. He left her. So, on that part, I want to say is, now that the toxicology report is in, my sister and I got to talk to detectives, because that's manslaughter in my eyes. But we're going to see. We're going to see, and I'm going to keep you well informed of what actually is going to happen, if something's going to happen or not, because there's been plenty of superstars that died from that, from somebody giving them the drug and then dying, and they went to jail for giving them the drugs. So my daughter is no exception. She needs to be one of those people who they get the person who gave it to her, left the person there to die along with my granddaughter. Thank God she didn't. And let justice happen. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys about. Please don't come for me, because any parent and anybody who loves their child will go to bat for them. And had I known that she was doing this, I would have made sure that she would have got help. I would have never even left the house. I would have stayed there. I would have kicked this ass out of her own house. Yes, I would have. But I thought she wasn't even drinking like that. She was not even doing anything. So we just had left her from getting Taco Bell. So had I known this, and had I known she was doing anything all this time, yes, I would have gotten her help whether she liked it or not, because I would have camped out at my daughter's house. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I stalk my kids. I stalk them. I call, if they don't answer the first 5 times, I'm calling at least 30 times till they get aggravated. And then after that, I'm over there at their house. Because that's how I am. And let me tell you this. This was my worst nightmare for my daughter. Because that's why I always called. I always called and I always came by. And if she didn't come by, I always did a welfare check. And if it wasn't me, it was her daughter's father, True Love's father. He did a welfare check. We were always tag teaming. And if it wasn't for him doing that last welfare check on my daughter, my granddaughter would have been dead. In Jesus' name. The police found my granddaughter alive in Jesus' name. So, this is my story. I'm the only one that can tell it. This is Ms. Fancy Wigs. And when I get the toxicology report, I will definitely let you guys know what's going to be happening or if something's going to be happening.